Welcome to St. Lucie Public Schools Transportation Department, Manager Training and Development. Welcome to Manager Training. The purpose of this training is to equip our managers with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to effectively lead their teams. Together, we will deliver clear, concise, and consistent messages, support one another, and remain united in our commitment to the department's mission and the success of our employees and operations. Follow along. Before we get started, remember one word: teamwork. Respect each other. Make sure you treat each other with professionalism and courtesy. Support each other. Be willing to step in, help, and encourage your teammates. Present a united front. Once decisions are made, stand behind them as one team. Be consistent. Apply expectations, policies, and accountability fairly across the department. Share your ideas. Communicate openly and learn from one another's experiences. Work together. Collaboration leads to better solutions and stronger outcomes. And of course, follow through. Do what you say you're going to do and hold yourself accountable. One team, one mission, one message. Teamwork. Let's review some basic manager expectations. Lead by example. Model the professionalism, attitude, and the work ethic that you expect from your team. Be present, be visible, approachable, and engaged with your employees. Communicate clearly. Share accurate, consistent information and expectations. Hold employees accountable. Address performance, attendance, and conduct issues promptly and fairly. Be consistent. Apply the policies, procedures, and expectations equally to all employees. Support your team. Coach them, mentor them, and provide employees with the tools that they need to succeed. Remember, your team's performance reflects your management. Document thoroughly. Keep accurate records and email employees and copy management to document any issues. Follow through. Complete assignments, your investigations, and any corrective actions in a timely manner. Be ready to problem solve. Address issues proactively and seek solutions rather than waiting on problems to escalate. Maintain your professionalism, remaining calm, respectful, and solution-focused even during difficult situations. Know and enforce our policies. Understand the district and the department's expectations and ensure that they are followed. Promote teamwork. Foster collaboration, respect, and a positive work environment. And be accountable. Take ownership of your decisions, your actions, and your responsibilities. Managers set the standard. The way you lead directly influences employee performance, morale, and the success of our department. Staying connected and engaged is an important role as a manager. Start your day prepared. Power on your computer and open up all the programs that you'll need for that day, such as Synovia, Bus Planner, Sayon, etc. Check your Outlook and respond to your emails promptly. Monitor your calendar for meetings so you're not delaying anybody else's time. Support dispatch. The radio must be staffed at all times. If you need to leave your desk, carry your handheld and be ready to assist when needed. Know what's happening. Review the monthly department newsletter and stay informed. Encourage your staff to read it as well. Know your resources. Be familiar with IWS and Safe Schools to assist employees with questions. And most importantly, manage your business. Engage with your employees, address concerns promptly, document any issues, and keep senior management informed. As you know, the radio can get out of hand sometimes. Be ready to shut down the nonsense and, of course, track any issues by documenting the employees if they engage in any of the following: excessive or unnecessary back and forth communication, unprofessional language, tone, yelling, arguing, or disrespectful comments, failure to keep the radio on the assigned or correct channel, long, unnecessary, or disruptive transmissions, failure to monitor the radio or keep their volume up, transmitting music, sound effects, or non-work related conversations, interrupting emergency or priority radio traffic, sharing confidential or personally identifiable student information over the radio, using the radio for anything other than the essential operation communications, failure to follow instructions or proper radio etiquette. We'll have a 3 strikes policy. The first violation will result in a verbal behavior correction. The second violation will result in an oral reprimand. And a third violation will result in a written reprimand. Continual violations of the radio policy will be enforced strictly. Let's talk about MDT driver requirements. Please keep in mind that all the steps that we're about to review are mandatory for everyone who drives a bus, no matter the position or years of experience. First, perform the actual pre-trip of the bus. Then, log on to the tablet. Complete the MDT pre-trip inspection through the tablet. Select their route and any sub-routes they may be covering. Start run with navigation. And remember, even if they don't need directions, they must do this step. They're able to mute the voiceover. Switch runs for each tier, and then log out of the tablet once back in the yard. And of course, repeat all the above steps in the PM. Just to clarify a common misconception, we are still able to track a bus even if they are not logged into the MDT. Logging into the MDT is not for timekeeping purposes. It is simply for the parents to be able to track the bus. Employee accountability, something we will put heavy focus on this year. If you don't document it, it didn't happen. We expect our employees to be held accountable, and that starts with our managers. Anytime you meet with an employee, document the discussion. Standardized email templates have been created for common situations and are available on SharePoint. If performance, attendance, conduct, or policy violations are not addressed and documented, we cannot support progressive discipline or move forward with formal disciplinary action, including termination. Send the email immediately after the discussion and copy the required management staff. Be sure you use the proper subject line and the proper template. For more information, please reach out to Ms. Cruz or Ms. Griffin. Address it, document it, and report it. Because if you don't document it, it didn't happen. Help us enforce the attendance policies. Follow the time off guidelines and hold your employees accountable. Personal time must be requested at least 24 hours in advance, and sick time may require a doctor's note. If the employee has no leave time available, a doctor's note will be required, so please inform them of such. Drivers and aides must follow this procedure to report an absence or a late arrival, and they're aware of this information as it's included in their welcome back books. All other employees must report absences or late arrivals before the start of their scheduled shift by notifying their manager directly. We prefer email for documentation purposes. Keep in mind, if you help enforce the attendance policies and keep us informed of attendance issues, we may be able to intervene. Attendance expectations. Drivers and aides need to scan in both the AM and PM. Don't continue to enter the same extra worksheets for the same employees. If a route time needs to be adjusted in Skyward, please ensure you do so. It's only going to save you time. All employees need to keep their badges on them at all times. There's no reason why they can't scan in, unless of course they're on a midday. Any no-call, no-shows need to be electronically documented, sent to the employee, and copy Ms. Griffin, Ms. Cruz, Mr. Hardison, and Mr. Prince. Make sure you're tracking your employee's attendance. If an employee has not worked in 3 consecutive days, or needs to go out on FMLA, or needs to take some sort of a leave of absence, an email to the following is required: Ms. Griffin, Ms. Cruz, Ms. Celeste, and Ms. Yolanda. We need to be able to track our active and working employees in order to justify our route performance. It is mandatory for our managers to track their employees' attendance. Minimum work requirements. All substitutes must work a minimum of 3 days per week. This now includes either a Monday or a Friday. If you have any staff that is not meeting this requirement, please advise them that failing to comply with this requirement may result in termination. Also, please ensure your drivers and aides are signing in the daily sign-in book. We need your help to enforce this. Since aides do not sign in on the MDTs, this is our way to accurately track who is on which route for each day. This is only for sub-drivers and sub-aides, and the books are right outside the key room windows. Please, managers, we need your help with this. The dispatchers are required to send in the completed forms every day with their final paperwork. So again, make sure all your substitute employees are working a minimum of 3 days per week, including either a Monday or a Friday. And of course, notify us if anybody is failing to meet this requirement. Blackout days. Any date identified as a blackout day on the calendar will be considered a restricted leave day. Time off requests for blackout days will not be approved unless supported by appropriate documentation in accordance with district policy. Anything outlined in a red box is a blackout day, and this applies to all transportation staff. No matter the department, drivers, aides, garage, or office staff. We will strictly enforce this. Here comes the back to school rush. Please be sure you distribute the Welcome Back quick guidebooks to your drivers and aides on the day of their dry runs. Dry run paperwork. Be sure you are distributing the forms and collecting from your staff. Hold them accountable for those parent phone calls. And remember, the seating chart process is changing this year. Gen Ed and mixed buses will complete their seating charts on the tablets. There won't be any more paper for that. ESC only routes will still continue to use paper for now, ensuring their evacuation plan is written clearly on the reverse side. Here is the dry run schedule for this year. As you can see, we've welcomed on a new area manager. If you haven't had a chance yet to introduce yourself to Ms. Deidre Butler, please do so and welcome her to the team. I'll also send out a copy of this dry run schedule to everyone. How to properly handle a Signal 4. If you're acting as a dispatcher, instruct the driver to switch to the security channel. We want to keep our main channels cleared. Call 911. Prepare and send the email with the correct information immediately. Be sure to notify Mr. Prince or Mr. Hardison. And of course, contact the school if there were students on board. You'll also need to notify the call center specialist to send out any skylerts. And if you're reporting to a Signal 4, prepare and submit your crash report within 48 hours. How to properly handle employee injuries. Contact S1 Medical. The manager must make the call to S1 Medical with the employee present to report the injury properly. Instruct the employee to complete the incident report that clearly includes thorough details of the incident as well as if there were any witnesses. You are responsible for obtaining written witness statements and attaching them to the report. Request the bus video immediately if applicable. You are required to review the video and prepare a detailed manager statement outlining exactly what is observed on the footage. And of course, complete your injury packet in its entirety and email it within 48 hours. Incomplete packets will be returned. Reviewing student referrals. You may have noticed towards the end of last year, we've updated the safety referral. Drivers must submit to their area manager within 1 day of the incident occurring. Please ensure referrals are complete and legible. Verify the description is detailed and factual. 1 referral per student. Ensure the employee signs, prints, and dates the referral. And the manager is responsible for reviewing and submitting the referral within 1 day. Don't just sign it, own it. Your submissions reflect you as a manager. Handling complaint calls. We know we get a lot of them. When a customer is upset or angry, it may not always be our fault, but it is our problem. Manager callbacks must be returned within 24 business hours. Too often we are told that a parent has left several messages and haven't received a call back. Follow through before it escalates to the district office. Remember, have a warm tone of voice. Give 100% focus to the caller. Allow the caller to finish talking before you do. Engage yourself in the conversation. Place them on hold if you need to, and follow through with what you said you would do. Don't interrupt the caller when they are speaking, or leave them on the line when you're researching something. Don't react to their tone, and don't hang up on the caller. Don't forget to be professional, and don't react, respond. Every call is recorded and will be pulled if an escalated complaint is received for customer service. Please make sure you are returning your complaint calls within 24 business hours. We're going to review now chain of complaints. For the type of complaint, who is responsible for taking the call, and what the overview or the result should be. Go ahead and read along with the screen. Required trainings. Training notices are placed in employee mailboxes 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So please remind your employees to check their mailboxes twice daily. Employees who miss a scheduled class may be required to attend at another compound. And employees who are not current on state-mandated training may be removed from their route and placed on unpaid leave until their training is completed. CPR and first aid is state mandated, required for all drivers and aides, and recertification is due every 2 years. We conduct this training in person at each compound. Certification cards are emailed directly to the employee within 30 days of the class. We no longer print cards. Epilepsy training is also state mandated and required for all drivers and aides. This is required to be recertified every year, and we conduct this training online. Human trafficking awareness is now state mandated and is required for all drivers and aides. Currently is only required one-time training, but that is subject to change. We will conduct this training online. ESE training is required for all drivers and aides, regardless of their route assignment, and recertification for this is due every 2 years. FEFP training is required for all bus drivers. All drivers must complete the annual online refresher this October due to process updates. Youth mental health training is also state mandated and is required for all drivers and aides. This is conducted in person and is a one-time training where no recertification is required. And finally, MDT training. MDT training is required for all bus drivers and is included in the new hire driver training. No recertification is required. However, additional training is available upon request. It is the manager's responsibility to monitor employee training status, remind staff of all upcoming classes, and ensure all required training is completed on time. Out of work process. This is so important, and there's usually a lot of confusion on how to handle these situations. So let's review it together so everyone is on the same page. When an employee anticipates being out of work for an extended period, they must notify their direct manager and report to the secretary at their assigned compound before their leave begins or as soon as reasonably possible thereafter. This process applies to all extended absences, including, but not limited to, FMLA, personal leave without pay, out of work for substitute status, maternity leave, workers' compensation, or any other extended medical or approved or unapproved leave. The secretaries of each compound are responsible for managing all out-of-work communication, documentation, and required paperwork. If an area manager receives any update from their employee regarding their leave or their return to work status, They must notify the appropriate compound secretary immediately so the employee's records can be updated. I cannot stress how important this process is. Light duty and TDA processes. All light duty and TDA employees report directly to Crystal at the South Compound. Exceptions will not be made. A specific assignment and reporting process must be followed for all light duty and TDA employees. Managers are expected to follow these established processes and communicate any questions or concerns before directing an employee elsewhere. If you have any questions about light duty or TDA process, see Crystal. Your employees rely on you to ensure their paychecks are received on time and are accurate. If you fail to complete payroll in a timely fashion, it can result in a delay of pay, and obviously this will cause an employee to become upset. Unhappy employees produce unwanted results. As a manager, you should be entering your extra worksheets daily, and if you're unable to keep up, ask for help. Checking for time off throughout the day. Completing sub-info sheets and turning them in. Verify staff has time off available and confirm all sick time has been entered. Payroll needs to be submitted every Tuesday without fail. Please make sure payroll is a priority. If a time clock goes down, notify Crystal immediately. Early notification allows me to troubleshoot and resolve the issue as quickly as possible, minimizing any downtime. Don't wait until later to report it. That's just going to generate extra worksheets for you. In-service payroll. Online in-service is open from August 1st till August 9th. They can work on the online training at their own pace, but the full course needs to be completed by midnight on August 9th. The course will be closed and non-accessible after August 10th. If they do not complete it by August 10th, they must be documented. They do not need to print any completion certificates, as everything is tracked through IWS. Please do not enter any worksheets from online or in-person in-service. Everything is being tracked by us, so you don't have to enter payroll. Let's have a great year. Managers will be held accountable to meet all the expectation set forth by the Transportation Administrative Team. Failure to meet these expectations may result in disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. Thank you. Your training is now complete. If you have any questions, please see Ms. Cruz or Ms. Griffin. Thank you.